Well, it is officially March 2nd, okay? Last month was Black History Month, and yeah, we didn't cover much. Been real busy with school here. We finally got more school supplies, so we are getting ready for this new semester, and I just wanted to watch some clips with you guys, go over some of my highlights that I saved from Black History Month, okay? So, let's go through these clips. These clips that I have collected may not have anything to do with Black history, honestly, like at all. Just has to do with Black culture currently, especially on the conservative side. And we have a few clips of how we have clips of everything from conservative Black opinions, conservative Blacks reacting to the ICE walkouts, and of course, Trump's speech where he brought the grandma on, that Black grandma. She was so cute. So we're gonna start here with a righteous perspective. He brings the content. He's got good content. A righteous perspective, guys. And this is fun. This is hilarious. I was laughing my ass off. You have to see this. Look at her outfit. Like, it's giving the color purple.
Martha!
Oh no.
Oh. Did you hear what happened?
Well, damn, child.
Say we got somebody else that's gonna be on our side. Man, he got a strong name, powerful name. His name Gavin Newsom. That's right. He was talking to a bunch of niggers the other day, and he said he just like us. He can't read nor write either. That's what he said. And if he gets in there, we might have somebody that can do more things for us. We might get us a big house. If he what you say. Now, is it that good for you? Don't you talk like that? Oh, man, Overseer Obama might hear you. And you know he's don't want us to have the things that the rest of the overseers have. If you go around there and tell Big Massa what he heard you say, then, you know, if they don't like what you say, they got a way of making sure don't nobody hear you no more. I knows it. You got to be careful.
I knows it.
Now, Martha, you get on away from around here with that kind of foolish talk. Now, go on, now get. I love you here, but you just can't say stuff like that. Not around here. Come on around the back later after the sun and sit all the way, and we can talk more about it.
All right.
Love you there. I love you here. All right, child. Yes, indeed. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my peeps.
I believe for the rest of my life, I'll be doing the Lord's work. I'm going to make sure no Black person is a Democrat ever again. I hope you got enough common sense and critical thinking to understand what's going on right now. I'm about to give you all the facts. Every day I think I'm going to come on here and tell you what these clowns have done to you.
Yeah.
And you just notice that they never got a solution for you and they always calling you a victim. That's number one. You always need Medicaid. You always need food stamps. You always need government assistance. Why? Why you can't need a job? Why you can't need an education? Why you can't need a better job? Why you can't need a house? Why you can't need a better car? Why you can't need better things than government assistance? Lyndon Johnson said he gonna have these niggas voting for Democrats for the next 200 years because that's how goofy you is. They filibustered the Civil Rights Act. It was the last record they had in Congress. They took men out of your homes. They would rather than be homosexual than to be a man in a home raising a family. Do y'all not see this? They claim to be Christians, but do everything against God. Are y'all Christians? I do not understand what's happening. Do you believe God's word or do you make it fit to your lifestyle? I do not understand what's going on. Was the dashikis not enough? When they walk their ass out there with dashikis on and your ass you ain't never been to Africa.
I'm pretty sure she's talking about when they took a knee.
The daishiki was unity for you. They play in your face.
Yeah. She's
play in
not
your
wrong.
face, and you let them do it. You let them work up your emotions. You let them build fear. What happened to us being slaves now? We supposed to be slaves 6 months into Trump presidency and all locked up in concentration camps.
Be the party of the poor. In order to do that, they must keep you poor.
This is exactly what I was talking about in my last video. After slavery was ended and the black community went on to build their own cities and like empires, what happened, right? The Democrats started handing out handouts and making sure these people didn't figure out how to get a leg up. They wanted to make sure that they could leech onto them forever.
If you want your welfare, your public housing, your food stamps, I am not talking to you. You are perfectly fit to be a Democrat, and a Democrat Party can have you. If you want the village to raise your child from preschool to prison, you are perfectly fit to be a Democrat.
That's sad. That breaks my heart.
If white microaggressions keep you up at night tweeting with Sean King and Rachel Dolezal, you're just an idiot. Please don't vote.
Listen, folks. We cannot let these Democrats regain power in the midterms. Okay, this is an all hands on deck call to action.
Yes.
We cannot. We need everyone to get out and vote. Again, make it too big for them to rig. We already see they're trying to get their illegal voters with no voter ID.
Too big to rig, okay? This is beautiful. I love seeing where this is going, okay? And I know a lot of people think I'm white, okay? I'm not black, okay? But a lot of people think I'm white. I'm white passing. When I moved to from New Mexico to Arizona, people are brown here, okay? New Mexico, I live in Santa Fe on a fucking mountaintop, little snow-covered mountaintop, okay? So they think I'm a little wet-out girl, right? When I come to Arizona. And everyone would ask me, what race are you? If you're not white, you're obviously white. And I was like, Mom, what am I supposed to say to these people? They think I'm white, which used to be super offensive to me, which now I look back and it's like super stupid. It was something instilled in me, right? As a child, like, we don't like white people. We don't like what they do. We don't like their habits. And it's just kind of what it's like. And that's sad. That's fucked up. But I used to literally hate being called white. So my mom would be like, well, tell him you're mestizo Indian. And I'd be like, I'm a mestizo Indian. They'd be like, what the fuck is that? What is that? I am French, Spanish, Mexican, Native. And there's so much more baked in there, dude, that I would never be able to identify it, okay? I could give you last names. And you could try to go make the connections for genealogy. But the truth is, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm me, I'm heaven, I've always been heaven, yeah? But I used to actually care, like, oh my god, they think I'm white. Oh my god, I can't look white. It's whatever, it doesn't bother me anymore. Now I see why God did that, so maybe I could reflect a little better about how racist I was towards white people. Anyways, I love where this is going. We are not gonna let these Democrats take over our minority mindsets just because it's vote blue no matter who. Vote blue no matter who. You know what I think? Vote red or you'll be dead, bro. Vote red or you'll be dead, dog. That's my new thing. So let's keep going. Because we gotta go. We got a few more clips and I got Buddy Boy waking up soon. So let's see. Let's go to Denzel's clip. Oh my god, what the hell? Oh, wow. That's supposed to hit. Let's move on to this. Okay, Denzel Washington. I don't even know when this was, if it was recent. I think it might have been. I've been seeing a lot of old clips of black celebrities coming up and saying, like, I don't identify as black, I identify as American. Can you guys stop making me choose a race? Which is true. It's like so frustrating. They use that in America against us so much. We gotta start identifying as American. Okay?
I think we as Americans better learn to unite. I think we as Americans need to put our elected officials' feet to the fire and demand that they work together or they won't get back in office. You know, in this age we live in, this accelerated information age, we're getting further and further apart. We're not getting together. We're getting further and further and further apart.
It's true.
All money ain't good money. What would you do? It's easy, Michael.
Michael.
You always, man to man, son to son. What? No. What would you do if it were your son in this set of circumstances?
When it's your son, but when it's a moral dilemma.
Yeah, but then that's what I'm saying. And then you find out it's not. What would you do?
It's a moral dilemma.
What would you do?
Oh.
What would you do? You already telling on yourself. What would you do, Michael?
What would I do? I'd do the right thing. Another Spike Lee movie.
Imagine being afraid to share your actual opinion on a show where you constantly are shoving your opinions down people's throat, but the one time you're given an actual hard question where you have to think about it, you're too afraid to give your opinion.
Yeah.
Get ready for this trailblazing 11-year-old drag kid who RuPaul is calling.
That's why he was asking.
What would you do, Michael?
That's why he was asking. Oh, man.
This breaks my heart.
We saw your parents in the piece that we did, and your parents are so supportive of you, but they've encouraged you to stay and be who you are. So how has that inspired you to be open?
You failed as a father, mate.
Michael?
They support me by letting me do what I want to do.
Michael?
Now we know why he was saying that to him.
Michael?
For you three, when you see Desmond, what comes to mind? What do you think about?
Inspirational.
Corporation.
Hell nah.
You know how that works.
This game, you're not ready for it.
What do you think about the huge fence our president wants to build with the Hispanic world?
Oh, okay. This was last election, maybe?
Okay.
How do I feel about the fence he's about to build?
Yeah.
And,
How many?
you know, I think this is what I think. I think we as Americans better learn to unite. I think we as Americans need to put our elected officials' feet to the fire and demand that they work together.
Right.
Or they won't get back in office.
100.
You know, in this age we live in, this accelerated information age, we're getting further and further apart. We're not getting together. We're getting further and further and further apart.
It's true.
Everybody can't be right. But I think this is an opportunity, actually. You see how people are being energized and protesting and all that. But I think this is an opportunity for us to look at ourselves as a country and say, are we together really? And are we holding our elected officials accountable to making sure that they're working together? Not just, hey, you're on your side, I win what I win, you win what you win.
Yeah,
because this is what is happening. This is what's happening.
That's what they want.
And God only knows where it's going.
Korea.
Yeah, it's completely
They
right.
want
It
Korea.
seems like as people, as human beings, we're being divided. We're not coming.
They want our nations divided the way Korea is. And then they want to move communism into the other nation, the non-communist areas. This is my opinion and theory. Okay. My opinion and theory of this all begins at the beginning of time. There will always be evil forces. There will always be good forces. If you walk blindly, you will never know the difference. Tune in. Tune in or you'll never understand. My full opinion is that communism is how they start the end of the world. Once it spreads through every nation, they will suck us dry of everything, move into bunkers, and start the world over. None of us want that. None of us do. We have to stop separating. We have to stop allowing them to control us like this. We have to stop letting their narrative into our heads to control our emotions and our decisions. It's so important to find that true north. Don't let it be the news. Don't let it be politicians. Don't let it be celebrities. Christ is your true north. He is our true north. And He is the only thing that will keep us safe in this world, this cruel, desolate, world. As I walk in the valley of the shadows of death, right, I have no fear, for I walk with God. And you have to look at life that way, or you don't truly think that or believe that. Let's listen to what he ends with here.
Coming together, and I think that's what a lot of people in power want. They want people bickering and falling out and fighting at the bottom, so we don't notice what's going on topside. Yeah, I completely agree with him and his take.
Just wondering who you wound up supporting in the election and why.
Go ahead now. What was the question?
Well, that was a question. Who you wound up supporting?
Remember when, like, talking about who you voted for used to be like a very not normal thing to do? Too bad we don't have that anymore, huh?
Supporting in the election, presidential election.
None of your business.
None of my business.
Right. None of your business.
Well, I'm only asking because the story was online, but that's okay.
Huh?
Let me ask you this: over the last 8 years, in your mind, have race relations improved under his leadership?
Race relationships have to do with race relationships. You're white.
These weasels, man, that find
Racial
these people and they're just
relationships?
trying to get them to say the wrong thing. They're fishing for something they can run with. This guy's an actor. He's been in some great films. You could ask him many questions, but you ask him that. You're trying to race bait him and get him to say something so you can run to the media with it.
Totally.
What a donut, man.
Or whatever you are. I'm black or whatever I am. We're standing here talking now. That's how we get things done. You can't legislate love. The President of the United States can't legislate us into liking each other. We have to step forward and ask questions about each other and engage. There's no law that says, oh, because I'm president, you all got to get along now. So it's up to us.
And there's been so many protests in America, especially during the election. Black Lives Matter movement, for example, and those issues. Has that movement in particular, the Black Lives Matter movement, helped race relations or not in America?
It has destroyed. Black Lives Matter has destroyed what America built. When I went to school with any race, okay, so Santa Fe don't have no black people. We got like 3 black families. But when I moved to Arizona, you know what I noticed? When I moved to Arizona and there's so many races in the school, nobody talked about race. Nobody was like, oh, well, we stick with black people because we're black. We stick with white people because we're white. And I don't know why this is happening now. It's like the craziest thing. I have to blame Black Lives Matter because that is when the divide started. They told black people, white people don't care about you and you need BLM, which BLM was just a funnel for a shit ton of money and people are already arrested, right? So yeah, it was literally just a psyop in my opinion, and it worked.
We live in America, and in America we have the freedom to express ourselves. We shouldn't take that for granted. So whatever the movements are, whether you agree with them or don't, they have the right to express themselves. So that's one of the great things about being in this country, that you do have the right to protest.
The interesting thing with Denzel, he's deflecting the questions he's being asked. And we've seen it many times that there's not many people with his status who are against all the woke BS, but he is. He's against it.
Thank God he's against it. Okay, so he has a lot of statements, obviously. I'll link this video below so you guys can go check it out. But, like I said, my munch can go be getting up soon. Let's move on to the grandma, because she's freaking so awesome. Here we go.
The bringing Dylan Mulder of God, just for soap and water.
Something like time to recover. Felicia Cook gave a very memorable speech at the giving them a long time to recover. Now let's talk about more important matters. Earlier today, a grandmother, Felicia Cook, gave a very memorable speech at the White House to mark Black History Month. This is something worth watching.
Thank God for this president.
Yes.
I am filled, my cup runneth over. Because he allowed his constituents, his people, to come to my house to interview me, to talk about the murder of my grandson. It seemed like nobody cared. We marched, we rallied, and nobody heard me, Democrats, get mad at me. until this Republican sent his constituents, his people out there to interview me in my home. Have you ever heard of a thing? Then they invited me twice before Congress to testify for the beautiful bill that's going to change crime in the district. If you kill somebody, okay, you take a life, you do life. Just that simple.
Amen. You take a life, you do life, or we take your life. I'm back to electric chair, guys. We could do, what's it called? What's it called? Yeah, we gotta handle this shit. It's getting out of hand. If we got rid of the predators, the pedophiles, and the murderers, we'd have way less problems. Like, way less problems. They say it's like 12 to 20% who are actually doing the heinous shit. Lock them up or get rid of them. Okay, what does the Bible say? Tie them to a millstone and throw them in the ocean.
Harsh crime, you do harsh time. Just that simple.
Amen.
And if we need National Guard, and which we did years ago, he brought it on.
He just pointed and thumbs up. I think that was to Amir Odom. I think Amir Odom talked about it. He was like, the president thumbs up me. It was really cute. But we won't be talking about Amir today. I do react to his videos really often here.
I love him. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about that racist stuff. And don't be looking at me on the news hating on me because I'm standing up for somebody that deserves to be standing up for. Get off the man's back. Let him do his job.
Amen.
Back up off of him.
Back up off of you. Back up off.
Army, I just love her. I think the White House should hire her
Grandma
as a spokesperson of some type. She is brilliant.
They can bring her on when Carolyn Levitt is on whatever it's called, her leave, what is it called? Maternity leave.
Articulated so much in so few words and in such a powerful fashion.
Yeah, and I think she represents more and more of the Black community, frankly, right? I think there's maybe even a silent majority that thinks along the lines that she does. Good for her. Her name to be on the lips of all young Black men and women across the country, and not somebody like race grifters like Nicole Hannah-Jones or Ibram X. Kendi. Good for her. And yes, Donald Trump, undoubtedly, Donald Trump saved a lot of Black lives in Washington, D.C. when he called it the National Guard. So good on her. And I'm so glad he brought her there for Black History Month. He represents the best of the Black community. And I'm here for it.
That is epic, right? Was that not amazing? And it was so much longer. She gave a good long speech. Let's go see the reactions, you guys, because this was wild too. To see the people pissed about it. Oh my god.
Boy, that Donald Trump, man, ain't he something else? Yeah, y'all know President Trump, the one y'all be calling race all the time. Man, did y'all see him the other day taking pictures with Black people? You can't get no more racist than that. I mean, he actually touching Black people. I can't. I mean, that's real racist. All up in the restaurant giving compliments to Black people, getting in between them and stuff and taking pictures, laughing and telling jokes with Black people. Bruh, that is some type of racism.
I gotta show you guys this meme. It's so funny. I'll put it right here.
I tell you, I can't believe this race, what he doing. And then the race had the audacity the other day to have Black people inviting them over to the White House to have a Black History program. And did you see the grandma that was up there talking to this? The Black grandma that was actually defending sis? Can y'all believe it? That's so funny. Then had the audacity to tell people to back up off him and let him do his job. Then guess what the race did? He had the audacity to lean in and kiss the Black grandma on the cheek. Now that's race. 10 toes down, fully racist. Then Jesse Jackson passed away. God rest his soul. And the race put out a tweet giving condolences to Jesse Jackson family. And then he stood up and said that Jesse Jackson was a good man and he really liked him. They just did that. Child, if that's racism, David Duke owe us an apology because Donald Trump is doing the true racing, baby. Loving on black people the way he doing. Let me tell y'all something. A true race wouldn't even want to touch a black person's hand. A true race wouldn't pass any type of legislation to help black people. He would keep them in chains. A true race would say stuff like, you ain't black if you don't vote Democrat. You know, keeping you on the plantation and such. Catch it. That's my president.
Here, just take a listen.
Yes, I'm literally
4 more
tired
years.
of this
4 more
narrative
years.
about Trump. When
You
it
know
concerns black people,
Before we get into this clip, I just want you guys to remember, we just had a guy in the press briefing room, in the press briefing room, asking Carolyn Levitt, does the president really believe people have called him racist? When? When was that?
they always change it. You know, I posted a video a few hours ago about this black grandma. She spoke at the White House, and love some of these people videos. I see a lot of videos, people going after her. Some says they were all paid. It get me to even laugh all through when I see videos, comments like this. According to them, every person who show up at the White House during this day were all paid. I don't understand. Trump has black supporters, and I don't know why people don't believe this. There is a video I saw. This lady is getting angry because people chant 4 more years.
The White House was very quick today to post on their social media bragging about how a chant for 4 more years broke out at the White House. And not just
You got 4 more years, honey. You better learn to deal with it.
at the White House during a Black History Month reception that Donald Trump was giving. Here, just take a listen. Let me just say this yet again. No, he isn't joking when he talked about 4 more years.
The thing is, Trump has not said he wants to. His supporters are begging him to, because we see he is honest, and he deserved that other term that they took away from him. So yeah, we support him getting another 4 years.
Yes, they fully do plan on keeping his specific dynasty, I suppose,
the voters
in power
do. We
as long
voters
as
do.
possible. And yes, if the aging process allows him to make it to the point of our next election.
Trust me, honey, he's probably got one of those little microchips up there. He ain't going nowhere. You probably got he's gonna make it to 120. Okay, he got a microchip up there. He can time travel. He is the dopest president ever to exist. Okay? Get over it.
He will be doing everything in his power to make sure he wins.
We will do everything in our power to make sure he wins. Now, get over it.
It isn't being a fearmonger to say this when he continues to joke about this
No. Once again, it's not Trump. It's his voters.
possibility. This is not a person or an entire organism that is behind him. This
An
whole
organism
group of individuals who get power through his power.
We are an organism.
It's not the kind of entity that will just willingly step aside.
She's so retarded.
That should scare more people than it apparently does.
That should scare more people. That should scare people. Trump is not saying it. But no, the voters will get their point across, and they will win the elections.
Donald Trump attended a Black History Month reception, and while he was there were a bunch of black speakers that were speaking on all the achievements that Donald Trump has done since he's been in office. And of course, the black community, have a lot to say about this. There are people that's saying, oh, how much he had to pay them to speak about him in such high regard. Oh, I wonder what he's doing for their families or how much they're making off of this. And what you have to understand is that these people don't necessarily have to be getting paid for them to be speaking highly of Donald Trump. The reality of it is not everyone in the world sees Donald Trump in a bad light. Listen, I don't like mice, but I'm pretty sure that I could find people out there that love mice. I remember where I was working at, I saw a mouse and I went the other direction, but my coworker saw the same mouse and took it as a pet. I can't stand roaches. I hate roaches. But I'm sure I could find people out there that love roaches. There's people out there that probably eat roaches. I'm sure of it. I have seen black folks sell out for less than money. There are people right now that would talk highly of the devil if he would give them an invite into hell. So it's not hard to believe that these people are speaking highly of Donald Trump. You know, the 2026 midterms will be coming up soon, and he doesn't want to lose that side. At the end of the day, he is the president of the United States, so he gets one pass to disrespect everybody in their face, and his apology will be inviting you over to the Oval Office or someplace politically professional where you can speak highly of him and get served caviar. It's the American way, baby.
Oh boy. This grandmother right here, she just got on here.
He keeps it real just like grandma. I appreciate that because I can trust him because he tells exactly how he feels and what he thinks. Thank God for this president. I am filled, my cup runneth over because he allowed his
Yes, the hate this grandma is getting from black people is increasing every single time. I went through my feed on TikTok to actually see the videos they are putting out about this whole thing. I just realized people are crazy. Like this guy said, no matter how you think that, oh, I don't like Trump, there are people who love him and will stand up to talk nice of him. That is a simple truth. Because you hate someone doesn't mean everyone hate that person. Yeah. She's talking out of experience, what she went through. You know, you don't expect this kind of person to come out here just to put out this kind of, you know, I have said this and I will repeat myself. Allow people to go their own way. They should express themselves the way they want. They should choose the side they believe in. Yeah, allow them. Struggling every single time to cancel people based on what they say or what they are. You know, it gets me crazy every time. Like, what is this?
Me too. You see how I
see a
freak
lot
out.
of comments, people saying any black person that is coming out to support Trump is being paid. As a fat lie. Yeah, very big lie.
The president believes he's been falsely called racist.
You're kidding.
Oh,
right?
here it is. Here's the clip.
I will pull you a plethora of examples. I'm going to get my team in that room to start going through the internet of radical Democrats throughout the years, Ed, who have accused this president falsely of being a racist.
Let's roll the tape. Donald Trump and his vile, racist, and malignant behavior. This guy is an unhinged bottom feeder.
So I don't want to hear the question, is this president racist anymore? He is.
We have a president, and I say this without any joy in my heart, who's a racist. And it's hard to believe that we have a president of the United States who is in fact a racist.
This is happening, but I'm going to start with number one, Trump himself. He's racist. I've been saying that. I said that during the campaign. Anybody that would adopt the objectives of Project 2025 truly believes in a racist ideology.
Said, okay, well, Donald Trump is a racist. Do you think that Donald Trump is a racist?
Look, his comments over and over and over again can be described as nothing but racist and obnoxious.
And then people say, well, you know, do you think he's a racist? Yes.
These comments from the White House are disgraceful and disgusting, and the comments are racist.
So what the president is doing is, once again, patently false. It's morally wrong. And yes, it is racist.
So this guy is, I'm sorry, he's a racist, and he's not good for the country. What's the alternative?
Said repeatedly, I can't look into Donald Trump's heart. I can't say that he is a racist.
Did you know him before?
Yes. I can say now Donald Trump is a racist.
Yes.
I can say that now. I can say that. And I hate saying it, but I can say that now.
And so that will happen. But, you know, people need to stay vigilant because he's a tough turkey and, you know, he's a full blown racist and he's going to pull every racist trope that he can.
Who is that? Trump's a racist. It's Larry David. What are you doing, Larry?
I heard if I yelled that, they'd give me $5,000.
some people who voted for Trump were racist and they voted for him for racist reasons. He is a tried and true, like, dyed in the wool racist. Like, in the core of his being, he's a racist. So,
CNN Tonight, I'm Don Lemon. The President of the United States is racist.
But it doesn't make what he said any less ignorant or any less racist. Not racial, not racially charged, racist.
You know, like I'm gonna think Donald Trump is a racist.
Okay, I'm gonna make our own to watch after this. We're gonna see all the all the times he's called racist, okay? But first, let's watch this.
Of being a racist.
You know, like a thing. Donald Trump is a racist. There's no.
She said, let's call a thing a thing. This is how stupid they are. She can't even remember let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a thing a thing.
Not do it.
It was a staffer who posted it. It was in fact a staffer who posted it.
Roasted?
He is not.
Who put that clip of the Obama
for the first time in history, HBCUs got permanent funding under the Trump administration.
That funding was started.
Funding was it is Black History Month.
And they have to
What's
argue.
so hard for me to witness is people stating that the president is a racist, because I've seen him firsthand. He saved one of my best friend's lives, a Black woman who has been with him for 8
Your observations, your experience with Trump should be different. Because you had a different observation doesn't mean I must have that.
Okay, we're gonna go find this clip because this didn't do it for me. This didn't do justice. We are gonna do it though, okay? Okay. This is the clip. This is the clip that we'll watch. Since that other one didn't work out, I think this is the one this one got me so keyed up. I had to go to The View and talk some shit. You see that? I had to go there and talk some shit.
I mean, is he even able to prove that he's not racist? I don't think so.
God. Nails?
I get the rants. I do. I understand them wholeheartedly.
And they made fun of Joe Biden. Hello.
Sonny's body language alone disgusts me. Like, why even show up if that's your attitude?
She's comparing Joe Biden to Trump. That is nuts. But anyway, let's go.
I think, when it comes to the event that happened yesterday, what's so hard
That's how I
for
feel about
me
Sonny.
to witness is people stating that the president is a racist, because I've seen him firsthand.
He's a racist.
Saved
He
one
is
of
a
my
racist.
best friend's lives, a Black woman who has been with him
So
for
he has a Black
18
friend.
years.
He's a racist.
No.
You know what's crazy? How rude is that? What's the best way to prove that you're not racist? When you have, as a white person, you have Black friends, you talk to Black people, you hang around Black people. What do racist white men and white women do? They don't hang around Black people. They don't have Black friends.
They most definitely don't, accept an award from Black people.
Yeah,
which Donald Trump did.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing else you can do to prove that you're not racist.
Like that lady, what's her name? I forget her name.
Savannah Chrisley?
No, not Savannah.
Sonny?
The angry Black woman. Yeah, Sonny.
No, she's Puerto Rican.
She's Black.
You know what I think? I think Sonny, Joy, and Whoopi were named so terribly. Like, so terribly. Unless they were named on April Fool's Day, those names do not fit them at all, in any sense. Nope. And they're on The View. They don't have a sunny disposition. They don't have a Whoopi view. They don't have a joyful disposition.
Savannah Chrisley? Yeah. She's trying to share an opinion, and she just keep interrupting her. He's racist. He's racist. How rude and obnoxious of a person you have to be to cut someone off. Somebody that's on your show as a guest, and you treat her like that? And she's telling you about how Donald Trump saved another Black woman's life. Yeah. It's because they don't want to hear it. Yeah, because The View, this show is based on portraying Trump as racist. Yeah, it's just propaganda for stupid progressive women. That's all it is.
He saved her life.
No.
He did.
Okay.
She won't even look in her direction.
Savannah, and why we have a different take on it. Many of us have a different take on it, because when you target DEI programs,
I don't feel
executive
joyful.
Office,
I don't feel sunny.
Executive orders. But anyway.
You don't feel like
how
yelling
racist was
Whoopi.
DEI? She kind of called Trump a racist for ending that. The policy's racist.
Yeah.
He comes in, stops it, and they call him a racist for ending a racist policy. Yeah. Whenever you're like deciding on who to hire based on their gender, based on their sex, based on their race, that is totally racist. It, most definitely is.
It's bias,
if you're on the left and you're
which is racism when you're going off of race.
You would call that racist.
From your, with executive orders, your first week in office, arguing that the policies undermine national unity. You know, when you shared racist posts about the Obamas, when you pursued...
That was a mistake. Yeah. And his staffer posted that. Yeah, and it's been removed.
And aside from that, it wasn't racist. It's not like only black people were depicted as monkeys. The fact that they took it that way, they saw a monkey and a black person, and they're like, this is racism. Black people aren't monkeys. That's a you problem. You're the one who made that connection. So dumb.
You would have a point if it was still up. If he kept it up. Yeah, it was Obama's. Yeah. I think whoever put that video together, it wasn't intentional. It was whoever put it together. He's got a sick sense of humor. I can tell you that. Yeah, but he did.
I don't think it was on purpose. I don't think it was on purpose.
And it was only seen for like a couple of seconds. Yeah. Yeah.
The death penalty for the exonerated 5 after you knew they had been exonerated. These are the reasons that his behavior.
Let's bring up the problem from 30 years ago.
I don't know whether you know about this, but
they'll never talk about all the black men, how Trump pardoned all these black men. He just pardoned a bunch of black men that was past NFL players. Pardon them. They'll never talk about that because they don't want to put him in a good light. Yeah, this whole show is based about making Trump look as racist as possible.
There's a reason it's called The View, and it's because they want you to share the same view as them so that you can look at things the way that they do, right? Which is why I say you need to stop looking towards celebrities as the true north. You have to stop that shit. They don't know shit. They don't know shit at all. And if you're paying attention, you'd see it. But you got to be able to take emotion out of it. You have to.
They're never going to share both sides. Yeah.
In the 70s, he was accused of discriminating against black tenants.
The 70s.
He wouldn't rent to them.
Okay, Trump wasn't doing the... Y'all think Trump is the head guy in the rental department? Somebody that he hired there was doing something he probably shouldn't have been doing. Yeah. And how big of a target is Donald Trump? He's a billionaire. These people are targets.
And so
was that an accusation?
No, that was a proven fact. They took him to court.
Stop it. Did you hear what Whoopi Goldberg just said? It must be true because they took him to court. Yeah, how moronic is that? I think he settled. Yeah, but it's cheaper to settle. Why are you going to keep defending lies and keep spending all this money on attorneys when you can just settle and be done with it? Yeah. Just because you settle doesn't mean you're guilty. Yeah. People will say accusations about you all the time. Especially when you're a billionaire. Yeah. You got the money. Yeah. Yeah, because it went to court, oh, it must be true. Yeah.
It was settled with the Justice Department. But I guess my point is, when someone goes out of their way to talk poorly about immigrants, not the immigrants, because nobody wants immigrants in the country who are killing people and doing terrible things, but the people who are not, the children who are not, the innocents, there seems
they got to bring up the children, right?
To be no ability in his mind to distinguish between black people and his idea of what DEI is. And when you really look...
His idea of what DEI is. No, it's actually the definition of DEI and how it destroyed school systems and work systems and why we need to fix it and get rid of it.
Look up and see who this was for, who benefited from DEI. It was not black folks.
It was black women, white women, and guess who suffered? Asians and white men.
What's that black woman on the Supreme Court? Why did Kamala Harris get picked for vice president? Why did she run for president? And you really going to sit there and say it did not benefit black people?
we got the vote in the 60s. So my question is, well, what was going on before that? What about, where was all of the things that you say were removed? Did people not have jobs? Did the people, if you couldn't go to school, didn't you have to find a different way to support your family? That's what people did.
What the fuck is she talking about?
What is she talking about? I have no idea what she's talking about.
The
Hey,
fuck?
you know what? You see how
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's confused.
often they conflate the present with the past? You see how often they compare apples to oranges? Yeah. They're so
They're comparing carrots to oranges, dude.
disingenuous. These are all these women, except for that co-host they have, that there's temporary, I think. All of them are bad faith actors.
He has not a great history.
Well, and also you look at someone, not to interrupt,
ahead,
but like Dr. Gates, I got the opportunity, like many of us have, to sit with Dr. Gates, and he created the show Finding Your Roots because Black people and Jewish people could not have traced their histories because everything was destroyed. They had nothing. And he went after it, and he worked so hard. So when he's not the only one, but he's my favorite one.
That shirt is perfect. Wait, what did I just say? Look at that shirt. Wait, what did I just say?
I had to show you guys those reactions. Obviously, the way the view reacts, they're retarded. Lastly, okay, this is our last video for the Black History Month. This is respectfully Xavier. He was there at that the Black House at the White House Black History Month thing.
Hey cousins, happy Friday. As you guys see, I am cozy here in my hotel room because I am in Washington, D.C. If you have not seen on my other social media, I was here for the Black History Month event over at the White House where my president, Donald Trump, was putting on a show for the Black community. And I have to say, it was just so special to be in that room, to be a part of history.
That was a gag.
You know, celebrating 100 years of Black History Month, which we know is American history every day when we clock it. And, you know, it's the 250th year as a country in America, and it was just such a special vibe in that room. Shout out to the YNs. It says, POV, your school had an ICE walkout / protest and didn't know how to act. So let's see what he means.
I get down and dirty. It don't matter. Since you in the way, oh, my mama did this teaching. She thinks she had my son. When we get back to the crib,
What is happening?
I'm gonna be the long down.
I'm so confused.
I feel my inner coonery getting ready to come out. So first of all, let's just keep it all the way 1,000. You are not seeing predominantly white schools. Yes, there are predominantly white schools that you see the students are walking out, but it is only at the schools that are predominantly Black that are getting this chaotic. Because it's one thing to be like, okay, we want to protest, we want to go outside and make our voices heard as young people. I can understand that. But to be throwing your laptop, to throw your taxpayer-funded laptop, because I know you don't own it, yours, because you wouldn't throw your laptop at a bunch of people's heads if that were the case. And then it's like the juxtaposition of it all, because you're going to sit here and be like, we're walking out of school because we want to show how much compassion we have for the people who swam into our country, yet at the same breath, you just threw your laptop into a crowd of people knowing that that can knock somebody out or knock out somebody's eye. So it's just like, that's the behavior that just sets me over the edge. And then you have them like throwing open bottles of liquid just to harass each other. So it's like, how are you sitting here acting like you're doing this to defend your community when you're at the same time attacking your own community?
That's a riot.
It's just insanity. And it frustrates me so much because you have these kids that are not prioritizing their education, but what are they prioritizing? This horrible behavior. Violence. And it's probably being
It reminds me of the 90s, man. It reminds me of the 90s.
Incentivized by a lot of the more left-leaning teachers that are at this establishment. And I'm not coming for all the teachers because, you know, I'm sure there's some of them that are
like
really
70%.
And on that note, shout out to the students that were probably still inside. There's probably not a lot of them. I would assume like 90% of the student body was outside because they're total like enrollment is only like 1,800 people, and you see a lot of these kids outside. But those students that are inside, I know they are probably fighting for their lives right now because God forbid they have some moral clarity or just want to get their education
or just an opposite opinion of everybody else.
But all that to say, I just feel so frustrated when I see that we have so many of these leftists, of these liberal teachers that are encouraging their students to behave in this manner, to leave school, to not actually prioritize the things that are going to benefit their future. Because let's just look at the stats. So this is at Langston Hughes High School in Atlanta, Georgia, and I looked up some of their stats. They have a 90% graduation rate. That would be great until you see how these kids are graduating. So when I pull up the stats here, 90% graduation rate, but only 20% of them are literacy proficient. So only 20% of these students can
30% took the test and 3 passed. These are who we're going to be employing, guys. These are going to be employed people soon. This is terrifying.
Read to the level that they're supposed to be at. So how do you have 90% of your students graduating when only 20% of these kids can read? Then it gets even worse when you look at the math. A lot of their problems come from the fact that they can't do math. They can't read nor can they do math. They have a 13% proficiency in mathematics. So these kids are so proud of themselves, and some of the academics there are probably so proud of these students, but you can't read or write and you're still graduating. You can't do math, but you have a 90% graduation rate.
That's sad.
And this I feel very personally irritated by, because when we talk about wanting better for the Black community, wanting to see these Black kids prosper, wanting to see them go out and make something of themselves, and then when they don't, everybody wants to immediately go to, oh, it's systemic racism. No, the only thing that's systemic here is the systemic failure on these students. The fact that they have been completely failed by their educational facilities.
And don't forget, you guys, like they mentioned at the beginning of this, Lyndon B. Johnson, right? What did he say? I'm going to have these voting for us, for the Democrats, for the next 200 years. And you know what else he did? He destroyed the public school system. He is the reason that no one is successful in school. It's not just minorities. It is an income thing. It is. And coming from the hood, I have seen it myself, right? And as I said earlier, I'm white passing, but I'm not white, Hispanic, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere. This behavior of, I don't even know what you call it, Neanderthalism? I don't freaking know. But they don't encourage kids to learn at all. It's like the opposite, actually. It's so... Okay, so I don't know what this means exactly, but the girl I watch, her name is Red Dawn Daily. We've seen her here. And she was talking about how a system called CORE was built, and that is the system that destroyed kids wanting to learn. And I would look more into it if we had time. But if you guys are interested, that is a great place to start. Look into Lyndon B. Johnson. Look into what the CORE system did to the schools. Look into how they're destroying education by turning us into pretty much machines who will just do what they're told, right? And it didn't work on a lot of us in the 90s because we had ADHD, like me. And it just didn't work. We couldn't sit still. We couldn't take in the knowledge. And it's getting worse because most kids have ADHD from devices and television and all these things. So they're creating a system that destroys itself, really. That's what it is. I'm so glad I homeschool. I'm so glad.
And a lot of them, they're getting failed in the home. And that's why you see them acting this way. You see them acting an absolute mess because they don't know any better. And I'm frustrated for them. I'm frustrated for their future, and I'm frustrated the fact that we don't have school choice in a lot of these areas. So there's a lot of kids that are probably there who are just walking out to fit in because they don't even want to go there, but they don't have a chance to go to a different school because the leftists are so afraid to allow school choice, because then there's going to be accountability on schools like this one.
Yep.
I'm tired of it. And then you also have the element, and again, I'm warming up. My coonery is warming up. The Uncle Tom is coming out, but it's like, how can you get frustrated at employers and white people and non-Black people when they see this kind of behavior all over the internet being glorified and praised and going viral of these Black students acting in this manner, and then they try to put the stereotypes on you? And don't try to clock me, because I've said it before. when it comes to racism, I ultimately think racism is just people being too lazy to assess people and demographics and situations on an individualistic level. However, you can't expect everybody to put in that much energy when they're constantly seeing these kind of patterns representing us. And I know that so many people in Black youth are against this type of degeneracy, but until we continue to clock that and clock these institutions that have told them, like, oh, be a BLM protester. You want to be a good person? Go protest for Palestine. Go protest for all these causes that you know nothing about. Go protest for the ICE collectibles that you don't even understand the danger that they're bringing to you.
It's
like,
true.
when you are constantly putting this at the forefront of culture, this is the result we have. A bunch of YNs in the schoolyard raising just absolute hell, wreaking havoc, throwing laptops, and destroying school property.
Yeah, it's very sad. Our youth has been stifled. Our youth has been stifled by what this government has created in the past, and that is why I'm so grateful for Trump and what's happening in the Republican Party. There's been an awakening on that side. The Democrats should catch up soon. Hopefully they find a purpose and like what their goals are, because being against Trump just isn't working anymore. Telling people they're oppressed isn't working anymore. Enough of us are finding God, Christ, and the true north that matters. And nothing's going to beat that because we found the true north. We don't need the schools telling us what to believe when it comes to morality. We don't need celebrities telling us what about morals, moral standards. We don't need the news telling us what's politically correct and incorrect and morals of what's right and wrong, because we have Christ. We have the Bible to guide us. And when you feel that in your heart, you know the real truth. Gotta leave it there, you guys. I can't with these numbskulls. I just can't with these numbskulls. I will see you next time.